Hi, and thanks for joining us on this look at the recent amendments to the Foreign Talent Act, the law that underpins the Gold Card. I'm Tom Fifield, and I run the Gold Card Task Force at the Gold Card Office. The Foreign Talent Act, also formally known as the Act for the Recruitment and Employment of Foreign Professionals, was passed into law in 2017, and the first Gold Card holders came to Taiwan in February 2018. Since then, it's been a really successful piece of legislation. More than 3,000 Gold Card holders at the current point in time, and the number of white-collar professionals working in Taiwan has increased by more than 30% over that period. The amendment we're talking about today passed the legislature in June 2021, and because the government departments need some time to implement the law, what we're talking about today will be practically useful to you starting in about October 2021. This was a really significant amendment, and of the 27 clauses in the law, fully 24 were modified, including 6 brand new clauses. The amendments were in 5 main areas: employment, residence, welfare and tax, family, and a few other legal housekeeping items. Today, we're just going to be looking at the highlights as they pertain to existing Gold Card holders. For specifics and anything to do with your personal situation, please take a look at the law, contact the appropriate authorities, or seek professional advice. The first set of changes that went into this law were to do with relaxing the regulations, harmonizing them with other policies, and making the program easier to operate. We introduced a new Gold Card field for those from national defense backgrounds, and also introduced a mechanism that allows people who don't fit into any of the existing fields to apply for a Gold Card. Previously, those moving to a Gold Card from visa-exempt entry had difficulty. They needed to apply for a separate residence visa between having their visa-exempt entry and their Gold Card. That's no longer the case. You can now move directly from visa-exempt entry to a Gold Card. We also brought the Gold Card into line with other foreign professional programs in Taiwan, and now Gold Card holders are able to apply for a 6-month extension of residence at the expiry of their card, which can be extended for a further 6 months. It's important to note that this is an extension of residence and not an extension of your work permit, so keep that in mind if you're going to be taking advantage of that. The biggest change by far is that Gold Card holders now have the ability to move to permanent residence after just 3 years. It was previously 5. Importantly, this law applies not just to new Gold Card holders, it also applies to all of you out there who already have a Gold Card. The requirement is to stay in Taiwan for more than 183 days per year on average, for more than 3 years. It's based on the time that you first entered Taiwan on your Gold Card. The calculation is an average, so if you have a year where you're spending a lot of time traveling on business, you can likely still qualify. The other important note is your Gold Card might expire before you've stayed in Taiwan for more than 3 years, so keep that in mind when you're planning your application for permanent residence. Permanent residence is generally thought to be better than just continuing on a Gold Card, because you don't ever have to worry about a visa ever again, provided you visit Taiwan at least once every 5 years. There are also additional benefits, such as for those who are above 65 years old, who are planning to retire in Taiwan. However, the other benefits that you know and love, such as your open work permit, the ability to sponsor your parents or grandparents for a 1-year visitor visa to come and visit you in Taiwan, and your existing NHI status continue. There were also some changes in the law for families. We harmonized the terms as they relate to work permits for your dependent children. They're now available in some cases they were not before, particularly for those who don't have a job in Taiwan. Similarly, the ability to sponsor your parents or grandparents for a 1-year visitor visa to come and visit you in Taiwan is now available to more people. Previously, that wasn't available to people who were unemployed. The other thing that has changed is that those particular benefits will continue to be accessible to you after you naturalize, if you choose to do so after living in Taiwan for 5 years. The tax benefit used to have a confusing deferral scheme. We've simplified that and just extended it so that the tax benefit is available to you for 5 years. The other big change is increasing the amount of people who can access national health insurance without being subject to a 6-month waiting period. So now, those who are self-employed can join NHI with no wait. Of course, we note that this won't cover everyone. However, since there are no residence requirements for the Gold Card, the system is designed so that someone needs to have substantial presence in Taiwan, a job, or their own business, to get NHI without waiting. Finally, the labour pension rules have been expanded for increased participation, including for those who are not employed. I hope you found this overview helpful, but if you have further questions, we definitely welcome them. Please contact us through the help desk, and there will be much more information available over the coming months as all of the various government departments implement these legislative changes. Thank you.